Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dig into the massive revolution happening in a technology you probably use all the time, optical character recognition. We're moving way beyond just seeing text to actually understanding documents.
Okay, let's just get right into it, because we've all been there, right? You scan a perfectly good document, maybe a table or a form, and what comes out is just a complete jumble of nonsense. Well, that frustration is exactly why the world of OCR is going through such a huge change right now. For years, OCR has been this amazing tool, but it's always had this one giant problem. It struggles with the messiness of the real world. You know, complex layouts, tables, all that handwriting, it's been a massive headache for anyone trying to pull clean, useful data out of documents.
And these frustrations, they're more than just a little annoying. See, traditional OCR often just flattens a document, turning it into one long, messy stream of text. It completely loses all the valuable structure. This means trying to get data from something like an invoice has always meant a ton of painful manual cleanup.
So, to really appreciate just how big a leap we're taking, we've got to look back at where we came from. And for a lot of people, the story starts with the classic OCR engines that have been the workhorses for years. And for a long time, Tesseract was pretty much the go-to tool. It's open source, it's been around forever, and look, for a clean, high-quality image with nice standard text, it does a pretty decent job. It's been our baseline for years. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. As the unstructured analysis points out so well, Tesseract is essentially blind to layout. It sees characters, but it doesn't see context. The moment you throw a multi-column article, a complex table, or some scribbled handwriting at it, it just hits a wall. And that's the limit of the old guard.
And that wall is exactly what's being smashed down right now. This is the game-changing shift. We're moving from just recognizing letters on a page to actually comprehending the document as a whole. And this is all being powered by large language models.
I love this slide because it illustrates the difference so perfectly. Traditional OCR, it's like a speed typist. It's just hammering out the letters it sees, one by one. But an LLM-based model, that's more like a research assistant. It's actually reading the document, understanding how all the pieces fit together, and then rebuilding the meaning and the structure on the other side.
So what does this actually mean in practice? It means these new models get the context. They don't just see a checked box. They understand it means yes. They don't just see a grid of numbers. They rebuild it as a proper table. It completely changes the game for automating anything that involves documents.
Okay, so enough theory, let's get to the data. How does this new generation of tools actually perform? Well, the latest benchmarks are out, and we're seeing some clear new champions emerge. According to A-Multiple's huge benchmark, when you look at deciphering messy, cursive handwriting, you know, the really tough stuff, the new multimodal LLMs are just in a league of their own. GPT-5 is hitting an incredible 95% accuracy, with models like OCR and Gemini nipping at its heels.
Now, what about clean, printed text? Well, the race here is way tighter. Some of the big cloud services, like Microsoft Azure, are still holding a razor-thin lead at 96%. But just look at how close the top LLMs are. They've basically caught up on standard documents, which is a massive achievement.
But remember, accuracy is only half the battle. Structure is the other half. And as Unstruct highlights, models like OCR aren't just spitting out text. They're outputting structured formats like Markdown. That means a table in a PDF becomes a table in your data. It's not just a jumble of words anymore. And if you want to see what that really looks like, this is it. The unstructured analysis gives us this perfect example. An old tool like Easy OCR takes a complex insurance document and just flattens it into this unreadable wall of text. But OCR, it intelligently rebuilds the table perfectly. The difference, honestly, is night and day.
And what's so cool is that a whole ecosystem of these tools is popping up. The K-Nuggets review lays it out beautifully. You've got these lightweight champions like Mini CPMO and the Tiny Moondream 2 that are perfect for running on your phone. Then you have these heavy-hitting specialists like Surya and Paddle OCR VL that are absolute masters at analyzing complicated layouts. So, if we pull this all together, the A-Multiple benchmark gives us a pretty clear winner's circle. For the absolute toughest handwriting challenges, GPT-5 is your champ. For high-volume, standard printed stuff, Azure is a super solid choice. And for really complex visual things like posters or ads, Gemini 2.5 Pro is taking the crown. So, with all these amazing new options, the big question has totally changed. It's not, can we get the data out anymore? Now it's which of these powerful tools is the absolute best one for my specific job.
So let's break that down. How do you pick one? Well, it really all depends on your specific use case. Are you trying to digitize a library of handwritten letters? Are you processing thousands of invoices? Or are you building an app that scans receipts? Each job has its own perfect tool.
And this is why this new era is so great. You can finally pick a specialist. If tables and forms are your world, a layout genius like Surya is going to be your best friend. If you need something that can scan a note on the fly in your app, a tiny, fast model like Moondream 2 is the perfect fit. It's all about matching the tool's superpower to your problem.
So if you remember just one thing, make it this. The days of a single, one-size-fits-all OCR tool are over. The modern world of OCR is all about specialization. It's about choosing the right champion for the task at hand. And as we wrap this up, let's just think a little bigger for a second. This whole revolution isn't just about better data entry. What happens when every document, every historical archive, every modern contract, every doctor's note becomes truly and deeply understandable to AI? What new worlds of knowledge, of automation, of analysis does that unlock for us? The possibilities are just starting to open up.